Good evening, it's Brian at Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you the Honda Civic range in the different specs that are available in petrol or diesel. We've most of the specs. There is 4 different models overall. I've only got 3 of them here, but I'll give you a quick idea of what's on the 4th one that we don't have here in stock at the moment. But these are some of the more popular models. Brian's my name. If there's any information you want on these cars, 045 531000, mobile 0868431945, or if you want to see any cars advertised, www.hondacentre.ie. So the very first model, which comes in petrol and diesel, is a Civic Comfort. So the Comfort is exactly what you see here on this particular car. So it's in 2016, has the nice kind of fatter grille at the front, and then along here daytime running light up through there. After that then a 16-inch alloy wheel is going to be standard, and behind that there's going to be things like anti-lock brakes. So if you slam the brakes, the car won't lock up and skid. Or it's also got vehicle stability control, so if the back end of the car starts to move around, it basically prevents the car from doing a 360, so it keeps the rear end of the car in line. After that there is a nice LED taillight along here. Rear spoiler is going to be standard. The boot's quite good in these Civics. So now again, these cars are just in off a truck. I know it's very hard to see here, but there is quite a deep boot that's down in there, and that also becomes an area that you can house a spare wheel if you want. So this is really just a brief overview. If you want a more specific video on these particular specs, I can send them on individually, but it's just going to give you an idea. Rear tinted glass along the back, nice diffuser down along the bottom there. And then after that, rear door handle housed in there. So again, alright, okay, seats come up like so magic seats, and it means you got a big tall load area along there. Or we can drop that down, same on the other side by the way, exact same on the other side, or else we can fold that down so we get a nice flat kind of boot section along there, so that's pretty good. And again, back up. So on the outside it's very hard to distinguish basically between the first model Comfort and the second model, what's called Sport, behind it. Quick overview of the inside. So as you were saying, 5-star safety, so basically airbags in the side of the seat, curtain up high, driver, passenger, same on the other side as well. Electrics for windows, electrics for mirrors. Just to give you an idea inside, let's turn on these lights for a sec. So okay, start up the car. This one in particular is petrol, but you can get the exact same car in diesel. So the petrol is going to come in a 1.4 petrol manual or 1.6 diesel manual as well. Diesel manual is 120 horsepower, petrol 1.4 is about 100 horsepower. Fuel efficiency is in the kind of 70 odd miles per gallon region on the 70-78 on the diesels, whereas the petrols are going to run at kind of mid-40s. Controls in through here, so things, just pressing on this, we can change things like trip computer, average speed, miles per gallon, all that kind of information down through there, or very sort of customizable settings using the menu down here. Bluetooth is always standard on all the petrol and diesel models. After that, usual wiper and light controls here. Revolution counter up through there, up and down to tell us when to change gear. Things like the econ function over here, so we turn that on. The 2 blue lights will change colours either side, basically to reflect your driving style, and it'll also reduce how sensitive the automatic function is on the air conditioner, so warm and cold, but the automated version of that will be regulated by this econ function if you wanted to be less aggressive, or if you have it off, then you know it'll operate. So you could say, you know, get me to 22, 24 degrees, whatever it is, and it'll go do it itself. Front and rear windscreen emisters. In here then USB and auxiliary connectors and all that kind of stuff. After that then, I'm just going to turn it down there for a sec. Usual radio and CD, and that again is a brief overview. That steering wheel is adjustable out towards me, away from me, up and down as well, and the seat is fully adjustable as you'd expect. Back part, whole section up and down as well. So that is the Comfort model. So the next one is what's called a Sport. So you can buy a Sport in a 1.4 petrol or a 1.6 diesel, or also a 1.8 petrol. Again, if you give us a call, we'll be able to go through the exact rates and things like that. 1.8 petrols actually run probably mid-40s in terms of miles per gallon, and even up to 50. They're quite an economical engine actually, which a lot of people don't really believe until they actually go and drive one. So this car is what's called Sport. The first identifiable thing on the outside is chrome surround around here and a front fog light. Front sensors along the front for parking. Everything else so far is pretty much identical, and then if we come around to the back, we've also got rear sensors for parking, but this one now gains a new function. Sorry about that. A new function on the key. So the headlights are automated; they'll stay on, or if you leave them in automatic, they'll come on themselves at night. Or if you leave them, sorry, now I'm just trying to do two things at once, and I just don't seem to be able to do that. But if you leave the headlights in the auto position, they will come on themselves at night, and they'll turn off themselves when it gets bright. With this car, okay, let's lock the doors. And wing mirrors come in, or let's open the car, and using the key we can bring the windows down, or we can do the opposite. So this is on sport, but not on the comfort one that we just looked at over here. So the windows are gone back up, as you see. After that, boot, rear seats all identical, similar kind of trim, but we're now going to get things like, let's turn on these lights here for a sec, cruise control, so we can set and maintain the speed that we want. We also now have a much more advanced Android radio, which is touchscreen. Again, I can send you information that it's got a reversing camera. As we were saying, it's got the reversing sensors as well. So when we start the car, this one's diesel. So if we go backwards and we go over handbrake, it'd be handy if we turn on our parking sensors. So it's telling us there's a warning behind us, similar up here as well. And then if we go forward, we get the same warning over here as well. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So that's your park assist. You now have dual zone climate control, which means different temperatures on the passenger side versus the driver side. Headlights have now become automated. Wipers have now become automated as well, so they'll come on themselves. And they're the main kind of functions overall that are going to be different on this car versus the comfort model that we've looked at, which was the red one. So as we're saying, that car is going to come 1.4 petrol or 1.6 diesel. That car is going to come in 1.4 petrol, 1.8 petrol or 1.6 diesel. And then the next one we're going to have a look at, just one second, sign in for distracting in the video. Let's see to switch something off on this particular car. Now, before the battery goes dead, them cars are just off a truck, so they're not prepared yet. This is SI. SI has, on the outside, if we look at the grille on the front of these two, they have honeycomb grille, fine, and then we got those long slats down underneath. On this one, SI, it doesn't have the chrome surrounder and the fog lamp, but it does have a honeycomb grille all the way, so honeycomb on the bottom and the top. Front rear park sensors, all the stuff that we're used to already. It's now got a 17-inch wheel instead of a 16-inch wheel. By the way, one thing with those, if you go for a petrol in those, you get a nice 17-inch wheel. On the diesels you get the 16-inch wheel, which is better for economy, but on a petrol there's a nice 17-inch polished wheel, so we can show you that anyway. That comes as standard on the petrol only. This one is only going to come in a diesel model, and the colours are more restricted, so you're looking at literally SI is going to come in blue, grey, red, black, white. At the back of the car, the spoiler is now colour coded compared to the Sport over there, which is black. The rear windows are now tinted on the side as well. On the roof line, compared to this car, which is more of a light grey. And I was watching it, probably it looked black, probably, I'm sure, but this one is a really, really dark black. So very, very dark kind of roof line up top as well. So just keeps within the sporty theme on the car. They're the main differences overall. There is one other spec that you can get in these cars, which I don't have here at the moment. It's what's called an executive. So we like getting that sport car there, similar looking car on the outside, except for you get a glass roof, you'd have heated seats, you'd have full leather, satellite navigation, and electric lumbar support on your seat as well. So a couple of differences overall. Anyway, that's an overall view of the range. If there's any information you want on those cars, please give us a call. Brian's my name. We are a family run business in operation for over 6 years. We can do finance, we do part exchanges, so hopefully the Civic range is of interest, and thanks for taking time to watch.